guys, how y'all doing today? I figured we'd change it up a little bit. Instead of me just talking, I figured I would just go over a few things and everything while I paint. So things I wanted to talk today about was, so I played about 3 games of 8th edition, and I just wanted to give y'all my thoughts on 8th edition so far. So 8th edition has been really fun. I mean, when it really comes down to it, the rule changes are good. I think everything's become simpler. I'm really enjoying it. And I hope you guys are too. So on that note, I wanted to go over some of the things that I think are pretty cool about 8th that I've liked so far as changes. And the number one has to be the effectiveness of vehicles. I think vehicles got a huge bump. Me and Jonathan played our last game, and man, I really like the fact of how good Mauler Fiends are, how good Dreadnoughts can be, and also, I think it's very, very cool for them to have a toughness value. I mean, I didn't know, when you read it and everything like that, you don't really know how it's going to affect in-game. And so far, the changes in-game have been pretty dramatic. I think we're going to see a lot more vehicles out there, but at the same time, you just got to learn how to use them. Now, shooting, though, I think is still at a high point. Shooting armies, I think, are still going to be good. There's a lot of good weapons out there that can really take down a lot of damage really quickly. Las cannons and other things, but of course, unfortunately, you have to hit with them, and my problem lately is I have not been able to hit at all with my heavy weapons or any of my guns, so that's just dice. Has nothing to do with the game. Also, I'm really, really digging close combat. It's so quick. You're just rolling dice, you hit. Oh, I need to wound. Bam, done. Nice and simple stuff. So I hope y'all guys are liking all this stuff just as much as I am, because it is a lot of fun, and I hope y'all have played a lot of games and everything. So, man, painting and talking is a lot harder than I thought it was. But, so I hope y'all are digging 8th as much as I am. The one thing I've really liked is the rule set. I think it is much simpler, and I think it's actually pretty clear and concise. As me and Jonathan were talking about it the entire time, it seems like half the time we were asking questions about rules, we're thinking, is that how it's supposed to work? Is that really how it's supposed to work? We were basically thinking we were playing an old edition of 40K where you had to question almost every single thing you did because you're like, no, that can't be it. And in actuality, most of the stuff, the rule set's pretty darn simple, so it's usually exactly how you read it. So I know we've been getting a lot of comments on the last video, which I appreciate. It's good to know that what we're doing right, and what we're having fun with, because just like we do this because we love to play 40K, and I know y'all do too. And sometimes you can't play, so what's the best thing? What's the next best thing to do? Watch a battle report and learn tactics and learn how to play from other people, because 10 years ago we didn't have all this good stuff. I mean, 10 years ago we were just like trying to figure it out in our local game stores, or talking with our friends on trying to figure out all these cool rules. So I really think the digital age or media has really changed the way we play and learn 40K. So it's actually grown it quite a bit. So currently working on this bad boy. God, man, I'm just loving the Dark Imperium box set. It is such a good release by GW. So it's very, very cool. In case y'all are wondering, you're like, why is he dipping straight out of the paint pot? Well, that's how I usually paint. But at the same time, usually when I buy the paints, if they're bases or anything, I water them down quite a bit already in the pot. So usually they spread pretty well. And then I always keep my brush nice and clean and keep it pretty moist and damp. So if I get too much, then I'll start using my little paint palette over here. But so I want to get y'all's guys' feedback. So y'all just let me know. Post some comments in here. What are y'all liking about 8th? I don't really. So far, most of the friends I've talked to are really digging it, and I hope you guys are too, because I think GW's done a wonderful job here. And I want to talk about some news that came out today too as well. Well, it actually came out yesterday, but I'm sure y'all saw the release of the new, I guess, Relic Tour, whatever they are, the new Space Marines. They are so wicked and cool. Let me get a drink here real quick. But I do love them. They are really cool. I really don't know what to make of them. They kind of look like a mix between Scouts and normal Space Marines, because they said they have combat blades. So I was like, huh, that's interesting. And then also the new Captain models coming out, the new Librarian models coming out. What are they called? They call them Reavers, I guess. I'll call them Reavers because, you know, I'm not too good at pronouncing stuff. And then there's been some links and stuff. I'm not sure if y'all have read them or heard about them yet, but there are some rumors that there are some rumors about some other things from the latest book. Dark Imperium came out, like a new flyer. Also these cool new Space Marines with like heavy cannons and stuff. I think they're called Assessors or something like that. So there's all these new rumors about different Primaris models that are coming out. So we already know about the Dreadnought and the vehicle. So it'll be kind of cool to, it'll be really cool to see what other models are coming out for Primaris Marines. So hope y'all guys are just as excited as I am. And the thing about the Primaris though is the more and more I think about them, saw someone bring up in one of the comments when they were talking about them, they seem more like, he compared them to Eldar Aspect Warriors, and I think that's pretty true. I mean, they're not, I don't think, you know, it looks like most of the units have a very specific role, and I think they're going to stick to that because your other Marines are a little bit more tactical and flexible when it comes to other, like, equipping a different weapon and other things like that. So I hope y'all are digging all the new Space Marine stuff, so just like I am. And another thing that came out is they're doing a new General's Compendium for, General's Handbook for Age of Sigmar, the 2017 version. So that's kind of cool. You can already just tell that they've already listened to the community and they're about ready to start making some of those point changes and other stuff so that, see how the game plays off and see how the game is advancing. So that is another good sign, and I suspect we'll see the same thing for 40K. Not sure if they'll do data sheets or something for updates, but I guess they'll release something with different point values. I mean, they used to release chapter approved, so my guessing it's going to be very similar to that. The old chapter approved they used to release in 3rd edition, so, which is very, very cool. So other than that, guys, I don't know what else is on my mind, but I'm really digging this new Captain model. I really like the new ones they just posted up. I mean, God, that Librarian is beautiful. I mean, he's going to be twice as large as normal Librarians, so not sure you're going to see a lot of conversions for him. So and also this weekend I was y'all know I have a kind of a Dark Angels army, which is mostly Deathwing. So I decided to go ahead and with the new appendix, I decided to point it all out, and I figured out that I actually have about 1,350 points of Deathwing all painted up. So I'm like, ooh. And then I have a Nephilim Flyer, which actually looks almost viable in this edition. I mean, now the main guns changed to a heavy 10, which I think can be very effective. And the Blackstone missiles are kind of cool. It looks like they're not a one-time use. Looks like you actually get to shoot 2 a turn, so which is kind of cool. So they're more launchers instead of what they used to be, which was just a straight up. You had 6 of them, and that's all you could use the entire game. So I am very excited about getting that painted up and get it added to my Dark Angels army, and then also getting my Land Raider painted up. I did have a Land Raider Redeemer. I got about halfway painted on the outside a couple years ago, and the league ended, and that's when the new Codex came out. And boy, the new Codex really kind of turned me off of playing Dark Angels, just for the fact there was you couldn't run a straight up Deathwing army anymore, and that's kind of how I built it. I wanted to run an all Terminator army, so I'm going to start working on those guys again so we can get those guys on the channel. I think it'll be really cool. Maybe me and John can have a game of Dark Angels versus Space Wolves. since he's got Space Bears. So other than that, guys, really not much else going on in my hobby world. So just wanted to get a video out there for you guys to let y'all know what's going on, and maybe I'll paint for a little bit. I'm putting Gihana's gold on all the gold areas to kind of make it stand out and pop a little bit. Usually I do about a 3-step armor, so next thing will be art gold, and then I'll do a little Liberator gold highlight to get it really crisp and clean. As you can see, I took it all apart. It would because I swapped out the head right here. I hope you can see it, but the head I swapped out to an old I guess a veteran head. I didn't really like the Gravis style armor, the helmet that comes in there. So I went with an exposed helm. It's been a while since I painted a face, so I thought I'd see if my painting skills have improved any and see how well I can paint a face. So the good thing about painting is you always got to test yourself and try new things, or try things you weren't good at before, because guess what? You never know how much better you get the more and more you paint. So I will be painting his head in a bit, but if you take it apart, I think it's easier to even paint the helm, just because then you can get all the other details, especially around the cape and the robe. Like here, you can get all those back details, get the whole thing, so when you actually stick it together, you won't have any blank spots missing. And then even with the helm, once this bad boy goes on right there, it kind of covers up the rest of it, so it makes it really, really hard to paint. I don't know, I got a kick for purple lately, so I decided to do a purple cape. I don't know what about. I don't know, I just like purple right now. Maybe it's because I have 2 daughters and they dig the purple. So any of you guys who've played and used his Gravis Captain, go ahead and leave a comment for me and let me know if there's anything I need to do when I'm on the battlefield with him, or any troubles and tribulations you found with him, on different ways of using him. I think, I mean, with his pistol, he looks like he can shoot, but really in close combat, he looks like he could be somewhat of a close combat master, considering he's got a toughness 5. Not a lot of, given that toughness 5 makes a big change. That's why I think Nurgle Marines are so good, is they've got toughness 5. Making normal bolters and everything else wound on a 5 now. I mean, they used to wound on a 5, but still, it's pretty brutal. So other than that, guys, I think that's all I really have for y'all, man. So I hope you have a great week, and maybe I'll post another video, or if anything else comes out that I really want to talk about or really feel like talking about, I'll post another video and maybe get y'all's comments and everything on it too. So other than that, guys, peace out. Happy wargaming, and get out there painting and get out hobbying and get those armies ready for 8th edition, and let me know. So if any of y'all played with this bad boy yet, let me know if y'all have any tips or tricks on when you play for him on the battlefield, so maybe the first time I bring him out there he won't die like everything else does when you bring him out on the battlefield first time. So other than that, guys, appreciate y'all watching, and leave some comments below, guys. Thanks.